Hi, I'm Nico from Budda Power Blues. I'm also the art director of Mobydick Records, and I'm here to talk about the artwork of Back to Roots. Back to Roots is the 7th album of Budda Power Blues, and talking with Budda, we decided to go straight ahead to the beginning of the 20th century, where blues was invented, let's say. And Budda talked to me about the concept of the record. He wanted something that related to our ancestors and to blues ancestors. So the immediate thing was, okay, we should work on black and white. From there, we started to think about several ways of doing it. A photo session that might represent the old Portuguese people, the old labor people from the fields, from fishing, etc. And inevitably, we thought about our grandfather's photographs. Our grandfather was a scientist, but he had an amazing eye, and he photographed with only one camera. It's like a M3 and a 50mm lens, and the photos were amazing. He photographed since 44, I believe, and the most peculiar thing is that we grew with his photographs on the wall, on the albums. So that was the reference for us. Okay, we have to recreate that. But talking with Budda more about it, we talked like 1 year about this record and the concept and what to do, and even after we recorded it, I started thinking, why should we recreate our grandfather's photos if we have our grandfather's photos? So I did a trip to my uncle's house. He has all the albums of the family, and we were amazed with the photos. It was a very emotional trip because I looked at 25 albums. Those were his choices to print because he had much more film, and it was amazing. His look on the family, his look on the children, his look on my grandmother, his look on vacations, and his look to the abstract things, to objects, to empty places, etc. It was amazing. So for me, it was that click, that time moment. Okay, this is what we want for the album. So what photos to choose to our cover? The front cover is the main thing for me. I like to recognize the albums from the front cover. So the hardest thing was to choose between 500 photos that I first shot with my cell phone, my smartphone. And after that, I almost took 1 other month to go back to my uncle's house with Budda in this case, and we started to scan all the photos that we wanted. So we did like a 200 selection of photos, and they are all amazing. So what cover to choose? We were debating on lots of photos, and we found 2 photos that were amazing. One colored photo, which is on the inside of the CD, with 3 kids playing in a tree, because Budda always mentioned he wanted like a Tom Sawyer kind of feeling in the record, and I think that's it. I think that's on the cover and on the inside of the record. We chose that particular photo to our pre-launching image of the CD and to the inside of the CD. So to the cover, we wanted black and white. That's the kind of feeling of the CD. It's very intimate, it's very personal, it's a little bit more softer, our way of playing in this record. We found a beautiful picture of my uncles, 3 of my uncles, from 1965. And it's amazing because it relates to us. It's only 3 boys and we are 3 Budda Power Blues, and because they are my uncles and Budda's uncles, we are very similar to them. So we could be those kids 70 years ago or 60 years ago. So that image is very powerful for me because in a way it's very calming and smoothing because they are contemplating the horizon, and in another way it's powerful because they're 3 little boys and they have all their lives ahead of them. So it's kind of a very hopeful portrait of 3 boys. It's a new beginning. It's a back to roots. It's what lies ahead. So I think that this photo is very powerful, and we have to thank our grandfather Rodrigo Guedes de Carvalho, because all his portfolio is incredible, is amazing. So now we had 200 photos. We chose this one to the cover, but I really wanted to use a photograph that has my father and Budda's father, Pedro, playing in the garden with the dog and with his two cousins. And that photo is incredible, but it didn't work on the square format. So, okay, I used it in the center of the book inside the album, and it's amazing. It has an energy. It captures the movement and the stop frame, and it's amazing. So we put it inside, and this way our father is on the record too. And the most peculiar thing is that at some time I wanted to do like 30-sheet book to the album, but it wasn't very fair because some photos would stay out. Also, the album would be very thick, so we had to resolve the jewel case format, and we wanted to stick to that. So eventually we decided, okay, let's use only 4 photos, and the other photos will go to our pages, to our Instagram mainly, and Facebook, because we really have to share the mood, the feeling that Back to Roots is, and that mood is really mirrored in our grandfather's photos. So we will be sharing that on Instagram and on Facebook with you all, because despite the fact that we didn't do those photos, our grandfather did, and that feeling, what he felt photographing those moments and those people and those objects, is some kind of what we felt composing this album and this record. So in this way, the artwork of Back to Roots is not constrained to the album in itself. It will be on the platforms for you to see. So I hope you like it, and I hope you like our CD. Please continue following our YouTube channel. It's very important for us to have views. Continue following our Facebook page and our recent Instagram page. So let's stay in touch, and hope you enjoyed the record. Bye bye.